Hello people, I it's been a while since I have done any type of let's call it public analysis, and the reason is because I have been busy. As many of you know me, I actually don't trade for a living. I do other stuff, and life has turned a little busy. But let's just go over BTC. I know a couple of people have contacted me through different channels that I have. One was Slack. The other, I have a couple of in Telegram that have been asking me about what's going on with BTC. So I will say this. BTC, it's in a very weird spot, to be honest. It's undecisive to where it is today, and I'm just going to try to do my best in analyze based on previous movements, or I don't know, whatever you want to call it, based on previous history. Let's just call it like that. Sorry, I'm a little tired, but I'm going to try to go quick on this. So let's take a look about right this right here in this area. We're just going to look at the price action. We're not going to do much. So let's take a look at this right here. All right, so as you can see, after the breakdown, this is the weekly, by the way. For me, looking at longer or bigger time frames is easier, and I will say this, I am way more relaxed when I have trades on the longer time frames. But this is a weird spot for BTC to be. So as we can see, my favorite indicator is actually the Ichimoku cloud, and I love it. It's precise, and it gives a lot of great signals. So as you can see, we broke down. One of the main things that I look for is the price, where it crosses, and how it breaks down. So I did this here. As you can see, the price ended up breaking down, and it went all the way back and tried to recover, went all the way back. So maybe in January, we end up being somewhere here, and as of today, based on history, and we are somewhere right here. We can compare that in a little bit. Just give me 1 second, and I'll try to explain how the breakdown happened and how similar it is to today's market. So as you can see, we have one breakdown right here, and I have gone through these different, and then the second one was right here. So now if we go back to where we currently are, we can see the similarities. So we had the breakdown right here and the second cross right here. All right, so now we are on this bullish momentum. If we want to compare to a really good push, so what we can expect is that the lag line will cross the price, try to push it. Maybe we'll do something like the daily did. Let's just go back to the daily, and we can see when we broke down, see it crossed right here, it broke down, it tried to cross again, it broke down, it couldn't, and finally this was my buy-in price. I actually entered my second at 36 something, and I held it. Held it until 49. A lot of people that are in my channel know what I did with that order. I held it until 49. I got back at 49.47, I think, and I'm still holding it, but I'm thinking to sell it right now. As you can see, we have had a hard time trying to break this resistance right here. Let me just clear this. We're having a hard time trying to clear this resistance, and the daily is dangerous going to the price. So we can probably take another push, but once it breaks down, that's my signal to sell whatever it is. If it's at 49, if it's at 50, 52, I don't care where it breaks down, I will get out of the market, and then I'll wait again, because it's probably that we're gonna end up retesting some supports. But anyways, for now, let's go back to the weekly, and as you can see, we had, again, comparing price action, we have a very good cross here, which is the MA8 and the MA21 is the same one that pushed the price from this area, from 97 all the way to 31. That's the same cross, okay, and that's why I am thinking that we might push up to 59 maybe to give a fake breakout. And if we go back to the same kind of scenario here, we can see that it did the same thing. It crossed, it broke down. So if you know how the Ichimoku cloud works, you know that there is 26 bars before, 26 bars before from the crossing, and if we go back here, we are a little behind in time, but it is pretty similar to what's going on. So my expectation of this is, and I'm looking at this right here, we already had this 9-week, let me see, I think it's even 11-12 weeks of gains, which is really, so we have 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11, and if we stay in green, we'll have 12 consecutive green weeks, even though we had reds, but we haven't really tested any supports or anything. And so I think at the end we're gonna end up curving again, as we did here. So the MA55 will catch up with the second rally. I still have price, I still have orders around 1100. I'm going to tell you where my orders are sitting right now. I have one at 1100 in this area right here. I'm going to tell you why. It's a huge, there was some pretty consistent trading action here. So this is where my first order is sitting, and then I have another one around, you're gonna laugh, but it's okay, you can laugh at me, I don't care, 220. So it's even a little lower than that. It's locked. Let me unlock this. So I have 1 or 2 somewhere there, and the reason is because of the monthly. So I am saying that we might push to 59. We might not. This is a pretty good area to test some price action, and I'll explain to you why this is here, but give me just a couple minutes. So this is where I think we're gonna end up breaking down again, and I can't short anymore. Bitfinex, unfortunately, it's banning US residents from trading in their platform. I won't be able to short, so I will only wait until I can find a place where I can actually short the market again. But anyways, now let's just move a notch and let's see what's going on with the monthly. Okay, let's clean this. Let's go all the way back. As you can see, we are somewhere right here right now, and I know again we are a little behind in time based on the candles and the timing, but as you can see the monthly ended up breaking right here, and we just broke down on the monthly. That's why I had a short at 66, I think I put my shorts, I don't remember, but this is where the monthly ended up breaking down recently, even after the big red candle right here. So that's for one. I don't want to, what's my time? 11 minutes. Okay, so let's just study the volume a little bit before we get too excited about this rally. So in the best times, let's just see, we had a sell in 2018 March 2018. The BTC market sold, even in January, BTC market sold 1.5 million. In February, 1.9 million. That was a really good recovery. But after that, 1.6 million sales, and then the best month that was April was again 1.72 buys, and then after that we just broke down 800, 600 good buys, and then we went from 900 3 consecutive months, and then little buys. So for me to really have a bullish sentiment, I have to see this volume picking up. I want to see this volume going at least to 1 million BTCs. Otherwise, we're just gonna be dragging. As you can see, after a big sell in the volume, you have a big buy candle, which happened here, and then at least the last sales, the new buys actually went higher than the sales, than the last two sales, and then the other sell went lower than the buys, and then that's how the price will recover. I haven't seen that volume coming in, so in my limited mind of trading, I want to say that I don't trust this push. It's just a liquid recovery. The market needs some liquidity, and I know a lot of people were shorting, thinking that it was going to go lower than the 30, lower than 31, which I expected, but my ranges were not too bad. Let's see if I can find. This is an old chart from last year. So 41 fell, and then where was the last one? This is the chart, but I had a price range from 28 to 3100, and I don't think this is one. Maybe let's see if I have the other one right here. And it's just, it takes time. That's all it does. I don't think. Okay, let's see. This is with the longer term price range. So we hit the 31. That's why I started buying BTC. It was obvious that we're not going to go any lower. For me, at least, I started accumulating a little bit of BTC at 31. I actually started too early, because I got out at 41, then I get in at 36, and then I got in at 31, and it's just it was definitely not one of my best ranges for sure, but I end up recovering pretty well. So, and what is to expect now on the monthly? So let's just take I think because of the way that this broke down, I don't think we're gonna have a cross to recover from here, and I have a target of 1100 because of the trading on these candles right here. This was the only place where we had another red candle. So this is a range, obviously. I'm not very precise with those, but I can tell you I have it 1100. After the little breakdown, we had a pretty good rally, and the numbers step if where is this? Okay, so if you look at this, let me close this real quick. So these are the TD. So you have a perfect count on both the bottom and the tops. Then you stop counting. So we had a pretty good rally until we got interrupted with the doji. I'm sure a lot of people thought they were gonna short the market, and then we end up having another great recovery. So this, if I go back to the volumes, this is where a lot of volume, a lot of the months of the volume, it's right here. I know there is not substantially, I mean, you have maybe a couple of million, and then the red candle came back in, took all this liquid, and then it shot up again. I'm taking a risk on waiting, but if I have to be loyal to my Ichimoku cloud, I am expecting this to also come to happen in the same way that it happened with the weekly. It's gonna come, boop, and if we look at the Ichimoku on this, sorry, it already went red. And if we go back to the weekly, 15 minutes, it started the same way. Red, it was somewhere right here when it got crossed, and then it broke down. So am I being a little silly on this? Maybe I am, but I have my orders at right here, 1100 range, and then I have at the bottom support on the monthly. That it's $226. It hasn't changed. That's where the support comes on the monthly. So will I have to wait? Yes, I'll have to wait this whole year, because if we were to think about timing, we still have at least 8 bars in the monthly. Okay, and this will also come to cross right here. Yeah, 8 bars, 9 bars. So the price will also cross right here, break down, and recover. That's how the Ichimoku cloud works. Now I know you're wondering why I have this. This is a paper trade, by the way. I have a bunch of sells because I want to see how the market is moving after oh look, I have $1 trillion based on paper trade. So it's a very easy way to track the market. on how fast it's moving. And I recommend you doing the same, because you can actually see where the pivots are and how it holding. So the reason why I enter at 4900 is because that's where the majority of the wicks hit. So I enter right here in the longest, and I enter down on the second red, because I don't know if we went to 54. This is Bitfinex, by the way, but I'm gonna tell you a little bit how I find my pivots. Okay, so it went all the way to 54. It was a perfect rally of 8 and 9, the little green full. It's a perfect rally. So I entered at the 9 at the opening, because I wanted to see what the change was. So it's pretty consistent on the pivots, as you can see, weak, and I think soon we're gonna have a big red candle somewhere right here, that it's not going to be a week anymore, and it's going to close below this 49, and then we'll have to test some supports, which are still 3900 hanging on the daily, which is $1,000 difference from where we were a week before. Okay, but this is support at 39, and if you ask me today where I am actually, I was, before I had to close my Bitfinex, I enter my shorts at 33.90, and I was holding it, but unfortunately I had to close my shorts there. I don't really have much to say. I mean, the Ichimoku cloud is pretty good if you time it right. My first entry was right here. That's why I said I entered at 41, because I thought it was gonna go up, break down. My second entry was, I had a couple of orders at 3100, but it wasn't really great in Coinbase. And then my second margin was all the way up here at 36 range, because that was where the crossing happened again, and I held it, and yeah, it was a nerve-wracking, but it ended up paying well. So I mean, that's where we are today. The BTC, it's hanging in there. I don't think, to be honest, it's going to be there for too long. I want to risk it to the daily and hold it until 58, 59. I'll definitely close my positions if hits below 49. If you close below 49, I'll think about closing my trades. As you know, BTC moves, the market moves. BTC falls, the market falls. That's just the way that it is. So if you guys have any questions, so the final word for me is shorting the market. If you ask me, again, this is my personal opinion on this. I am not telling you to go and short the market, but if I had a way to short it, I will keep my shorts and just wait for the monthly and see how it does. On the weekly, I think we are almost to the point of breakdown. Not really sure how many more weeks we're gonna go until we cross here, and I don't know if we will cross on this candle or on this candle right here. You know, it could happen in both, but we have still 35 days to test, and maybe, you know, the testing would be at 4800 around. So just trade with caution. I hope you guys found this helpful, and if you don't see me for a couple months, don't worry, I'm still okay, I'm alive, I'm working. But you can ask me through the various channels that I have. Again, happy trading and do it with care. I'll see you guys around.